All right, what's up, Cody, and to all the guys over at Big Star Ford and Manville, man, I just want to say, man, I appreciate you contacting me, you reaching out to me, and asking me some questions, and I appreciate the opportunity to kind of show you what I can do and kind of get on here and break it down for you. But I do know your time is valuable, so I'm gonna try to get a lot of stuff in pretty quick, and I'll definitely keep this video between 10 and 15 minutes. And definitely less than 15 minutes for sure. I promise that. Just some FYI, my name is Nathan Isaac Bates. I'm a marketing consultant and a local SEO strategist and specialist, and I've been doing that since 2009. I've worked on projects with Ryobi Weed Eaters and Fast Signs. I've also worked with a local marketing company in Houston called Drumbeat Marketing, and done plenty of freelance stuff. And now I'm working on my own gig, and I'm Biz Ablaze Local, and we focus on local markets, and that's what brings me here, and that's what I'm going to talk about today here. And so real quick, full disclosure, I am obviously not Morgan Freeman, so please forgive my poor narration skills over this video. I'm also not the other Morgan Spurlock, who is a critically acclaimed documentary director, and obviously I am not that either. So please just bear with me. I'll try to get. I'm just trying to, kind of be educational, show you some things, and hopefully I'll get all that stuff into this video in a pretty short time. So yeah, if I just stick to my process, I think I'll be fine. Hopefully I don't repeat myself, but if I do ramble a little bit, I'll catch myself, I promise. And I'll keep this, I'll get it back in line, and we'll keep this video short. The reason I like doing these kind of videos is, first, it's an extremely powerful prospecting tool, first of all. And, secondly, in my opinion, it's the most transparent and efficient way to kind of go and be right there in the room with you, and with you business owners, contractors, however. I can just kind of hop in the room with you real quick and then show you what I got to show you, and then we're done. We don't have to spend any more time. It's pretty efficient use of time, and then I can also kind of show you, with a broad picture, exactly how I can generate laser targeted leads from search engines, and namely Google. That's what I do. And lastly, I want to say too, I know we're all salesmen in life, but I definitely do not claim to be a professional salesman. I'll leave that up, to you, Cody, and you guys over at Big Star. You guys are the professional salesmen. I'm a marketer. This isn't like necessarily meant to be a pitch or anything. It's more to kind of be informative and educational, and hopefully answer any questions you may have, kind of based on what you've seen so far, Cody. And so just to be educational also, in hopes that possibly, maybe we can work together in the future. So all that aside, this is basically just going to be a brief marketing analysis demonstration, a demo. I'm going to kind of, like I said, paint the picture for you, but I'm going to paint it in broad strokes. So, we're not going to go too far down the rabbit hole, get too technical. Just kind of give you a broad overview, but I'll make it understandable. It won't be any, fluff and it won't be vague either, but I'll explain it to you, the quickest way possible, and still get the point across. So, with this information and the way I'm doing it here with the video and what I'm about to show you, honestly, most guys that are in my industry, most marketers, they do stuff similar to what I do. They don't really show their clients this kind of stuff. And I think the main reason is because they think maybe, well, these guys will just run out and do it themselves and we'll all be out of business. But, I kind of disagree with that. I think my approach is, my mindset is a little bit more, just kind of be transparent and educational, because I think that's kind of what attracts me, to people and things and services and programs and things like that, especially nowadays. So that's, this is my attempt to kind of just show that, kind of good faith, transparency, and also be educational at the same time. I think of it kind of like, if a guy were to show me how to build a transmission or a carburetor, that'd be great and awesome, I guess. But when it came time for me to need a transmission or a carburetor, you best believe that I'm not going to go out there and attempt to try to build one myself. I'm going to probably go to a professional, or maybe, just buy a new one. So, so there's something to be said And for you guys, for instance, I mean, you guys, like I say, are professional salesmen. I don't know if that's the proper term or not, but I mean, you guys' focus is pushing inventory out the door, boom, boom, boom. And my focus is on driving leads to local businesses or to national businesses, but, focus primarily on local markets. And I'll show you how I do all that too. So anyway, so that's kind of the full transparent little intro speech here. But I'm going to get right into it. So let me go ahead and jump into it here and show you some the nuts and bolts of what I got going on here. So let me jump right over here. Okay, man. So the first thing when we're talking about local markets, so the first thing you want to know is, well, what's local to you, to the business, to the contractor, or like what's local to them, what's their local market. So of course we're in Texas, and the first thing I want to mention is kind of at a starting point, you want to sort of look for, let's say markets, but cities or suburbs, populations between 50,000 and 300,000. And that's just because that's just a good sort of, there's going to be enough people there to to drive the leads and get the percentages up to get to the sales that you need to make, to be rolling in dough, right? Okay, so the next thing is so basically what I'm saying. So here we're going to look at some of these cities. Let me get my mouse here. So yeah, so the first thing I noticed is you guys are in the Manville area, so Pasadena, pretty close. And these numbers aren't pinpoint accurate by any means. I think they're actually a couple years old, but just to get a good idea, we got 150,000 or so in Pasadena. That's kind of where their population is. But even better than that, right down here, just a little bit less population, but definitely a lot closer. It's Pearland. Okay, so we know, we know what you do. Again, I don't know what the term is, the PC term is nowadays, but I would say car salesman, auto dealer. You pre-owned car dealer, used car salesman. I'm not sure. So, but anyway, that's your general sort of niche or market. So, of course, so we got that. Since we know that, then we kind of say, well, okay, well, where's our starting point for the locality part? Like, where's our starting point? And this will come into play in just a minute. You'll see what I mean, how this pertains to actually being online with the locality, with the city and stuff. So anyway. Just kind of based on like a real brief, doing some research, just kind of glancing over this. There's a few good cities. Pasadena, like I say, has a better, higher population, but it's just about, I don't know, 15 minutes further down the road. So let's stick with Pearland, just, if nothing else for the sake of the example. And let's get going here real quick. So the first thing I noticed, the first thing to do is I have to go over here and, this is the free tool Google can give us. I actually looked up Pasadena used cars just as kind of a start point. So you see what I did there? I used the city and sort of your niche. Used cars may not necessarily be what you consider your niche or your profession, but I imagine you guys have used cars, and this is, excuse me, this is in fact kind of what people would be searching for, sort of like we talked about yesterday, like how would you know? So this is kind of what you do is you just kind of get a starting point. You can see, right here you got, fairly even sales throughout the year. Obviously, this dip right here is probably because of the holidays and whatnot, whatever. So you're just taking a brief glance over here. And the funny thing I wanted you to notice is this. You Pasadena used cars with those three terms, medium competition, and people are spending money on that. And I'll show you what that means in a minute. But you see, this is about an average of, I know these numbers are extremely low. This is about 90. It's saying 90 searches a month, but I guarantee you there's more than 90 people in a month to search for Pasadena used cars. But the funny thing is, if you just use that number as a gauge, you'll see that used cars Pasadena, just this in reverse, 590, man. So like, boom, so this is used cars Pasadena is what I would target rather than this. And we would work this in here too, but this would be because mainly Google is saying, well, 5 or 6 more times people search for that, right? Okay, so that's the starting point, and that's Pasadena. I wanted to show you Pasadena. But like I say, we're going to kind of start more in Pearland. So, same thing again, Pearland used cars, it's saying 40. I would actually just put a 0 on the end of all these numbers. So you might get 400 people actually going online looking for putting in Pearland used cars into their web browser. Here again, used cars Pearland, just the reverse of that. Boom, what is that, 12 times more people, right? Supposedly. So, anyway, so you can just kind of get a gauge, and then you look down here, there's other, other keywords that people are using, and Google is telling you, what the competition is and how much people are paying for these AdWords that I'm going to show you in a minute. Basically this right here where it says ad, people are paying every time somebody clicks on that. That's just called pay-per-click marketing. And, I can get into all that too later, but just kind of to brush over it, that's basically what that is. So basically we got used cars in Pearland. First thing we're going to do is kind of go down the page. I know this is Google. Everybody's familiar with Google, but like I just said, these are the paid ads there. So there's the first part of Google. You get the paid ads on top. Google wants to give their contributors, the top priority. This is the cool part nowadays. This changes sometimes, but for the most part, lately especially, it's been this Google 3-pack or a map pack or however you want to say it. But this is you'll notice this on a lot of local searches. I know how to get you into the into this, and you can look down here, and this is a great way to get on the front page of Google without even having a website. Some of these industries don't even have a website, and they'll be right there on the front page of Google. Actually, I think there's a guy down here somewhere that doesn't have one, or at least he doesn't have one listed to his. Anyway, maybe that was a different city. So my point is, what we're doing kind of here is looking for, you're kind of looking at your competition. First thing I notice is this guy Gates. He's a car dealer in Pearland, Texas, and boom, when you put in used car Pearland, Mr. Gates pops up there, and he also pops up, and this is what is called the organic results. You don't have to pay to get here. This is where someone like me comes in, where I use words and I use content and I use all these things, backlinks and social media and Google Plus pages and things like that to get Google to notice your site and then give it props and push it up in the search engine. And eventually, hopefully, you get here where Gates is. And so Gates has got two pieces of this real estate here. Gates is here and Gates is here. So that's cool. So what we know about Gates is that he's our competition for the word used cars in Pearland, right? Okay, so that's cool. So what I wanted to show you, and this is the cool part about what I can do, is I can come over here to this little tool that I got, my little dandy thing here, and what I can do is kind of go behind the scenes of Gates' website. Like I was mentioning a minute ago, one of the important factors that Google uses besides content and people mentioning you in social media and things like your website is backlinks. So backlink, what that is like a vote or a letter of recommendation, and those backlinks are extremely important as far as how high you go in those organic listings, and so the cool thing is here, Mr. Gates has only got 6, so I would only have to have more than Mr. Gates to kind of start rising in those Google search listings. The other thing cool here is for all the keywords Mr. Gates has, 405. If he were to pay for the traffic that he's getting out of that free site, that free spot there on Google, he'd have to pay at least $1,000 or so, just to get that free traffic, those free leads that he's getting by having somebody search engine optimize his website. So that's what that is, and I just kind of wanted to show you that. I'm rolling up in on like 13 or 14 minutes, and I promised I would keep this thing to 15. So let me hop back out of here. I just want to show you real quick. This is a site I did. This is a lead generation site designed purely to grab people's information or have them call. This right here, front and center, phone number, big and center. If you were to look at this on your mobile phone, you would notice that it will call the number, right? It's click to call. So this website's also mobile responsive. You can tell because when I make it smaller, like your cell phone size, see how a website moves too. So, I've got my number, and this goes to me, and I just sell the leads to plumbers in Pasadena. I just kind of made this on a whim. But all this here is the email capture, easy to do. This email capture is even an advanced way to have, as soon as they fill that out and submit it, that your phone rings. That's an awesome little game changer right there that we can talk more in detail about. And some things we were talking about, like down here too, is where we kind of blanket the whole area. You know what I mean? So even though we were focused on Pasadena plumbers here, I got everything in here within a 50-mile radius of Pasadena. So this stuff is showing up, and each one of those cities has their own term, man. So anyway, running right out on 15 minutes. I promise you 15 minutes. Listen, I'm always looking for referrals and networking opportunities. So you guys let me know if you know anybody, sister, mother, brother needs a website, or anybody else, other business owners or any other entrepreneurs look, man, I can help anybody that needs to get something ranked on Google. All right. Appreciate your time, guys. Talk to you later.